3.
All right, I am going to now show you how to draw up and prepare a Cytarabine CRI in a syringe to be put on a syringe pump to the patient. So for our supplies, you are going to need a regular syringe that you will draw up the volume of saline or Normar or whatever fluid your doctor orders. So whatever syringe size you will need for that. Typically you are going to put this into a 60 ml syringe, but for explanation purposes, this is our syringe we'll put our saline into. You need the syringe to draw up your Cytarabine. For this, you want to use one of the Equashield syringes that live under the hood. You will then need your extension set line, whether it is a bigger bore line like this, or if you have one of the micro bore lines, that will vary on your rate that you're going to administer that with. You will need 2 of the female adapters from Equashield, 2 of the male Equashield adapters, and 1 of the double-sided male syringe to syringe connectors. So first things first, we're going to want to pull up our full volume of saline and flush our line so that it's primed, full, ready to go with saline. So you can draw up your appropriate volume of saline. One thing to remember when you are preparing chemo in a syringe, a regular syringe, you do not want your syringe to be more than 75% full. So if you have a 60 ml syringe and you need 60 mils total of fluid, you need to break that into 2 different syringes and 2 different setups. These regular syringes, we can pull that plunger right out, so theoretically we could pull that out and our chemo would go everywhere. So just keep that in mind. Oh, we're just going to have our bit of saline there. We're going to say that's what our doctor ordered. And then at this point, you can come, prime your fluid line. Go ahead and clamp that so nothing escapes. And when you disconnect your saline, you are going to add on, one of the male Equashield adapters to the female end. So that just screws on there nice and snug. And then at the other end, where we have our male piece, we're going to add the female adapter to that end. So we now have a nice fully closed system. Nothing can leak or escape from that. All right, and you can set that aside for the moment. Next, we need to draw up our Cytarabine. So again, you want to use one of the Equashield syringes for that. This is just sodium chloride, for example. Take off the cap, red lines to red lines, pushes on, draw up your calculated Cytarabine dose. This dose and volume needs to have been double to triple checked. That is by yourself, by your doctor, and another technician, ideally, to verify that we have the correct volume. Then we need to add on a female connector to the syringe that has your saline in it, because we're going to do a syringe to syringe dilution with the Cytarabine into the saline, again, or Normar, whatever fluid your doctor orders. So we're just going to attach that. You want to make sure that's nice and snug. This is not going to be removed again ever. You will not disconnect these pieces. Grab the male adapter. Take the cap off. So we're going to attach our saline syringe, attach our Cytarabine syringe, and then you can just inject that directly in to your fluid, and so you have your nice mixture there. These just pull apart. We're finished with those pieces. All right, so we have our Cytarabine mixed into our fluid that we're going to be administering to the patient. So at this point, again, our line is primed with only saline. We're going to connect our drug mixture right to that male port. This will be where we hook this up to the syringe pump, and this end will attach to the male adapter that you will attach to your patient's T-port. Again, This should never be disconnected, and this piece should never be removed from that patient's chemo catheter T-port. Again, ideally, once we are finished giving chemotherapy through a catheter, that catheter should be carefully removed wearing all PPE and disposed of in a chemo bag. So that is how we prepare our Cytarabine CRI in a syringe.